So let's see, what do we have next? I think we have tier 2 games. Yeah, we're going to have Wrench versus Red QuaD. Game 1 is going to be on Fighting Spirit. Wrench, I don't know what race Wrench is. QuaD is a Zerg player. If I am remembering correctly, he is QuaDrox, and he actually recently did a pretty interesting little stream talking about what it's like to be a player very new to Brood War here in 2018, 2019. So, without further ado, I guess let's get into it. Game number 1 coming up here between Red QuaD and Wrench. So in the top right-hand corner of the map, as the blue Zerg, we have, or apparently in this case, it's BRU QuaD. And in the left-hand side, as the purple Protoss, we have Wrench 420. And I think it's safe to say this guy probably likes pot. So QuaDrox, I believe, has hit D recently, which I guess would make sense. Somebody in CPL needs to shout out to me what the tiers actually are, like what the actual MMR cutoffs were for each tier. But yeah. But I believe QuaDrox is around B, and Wrench I know nothing about. And hello, Mr. Dayspy. How you doing? Okay, so tier 3 is 1350. So basically, tier 3 is basically E and F. Tier 2, oh, tier 2 is big. I didn't realize tier 1 was like B. Tier 1 is like, yeah, really high C or B, okay. I didn't realize CPL took players up to that level. I thought like B players were rare in CPL. But I guess not. Alright, so the forge is being made. And it looks like Wrench knows his walls, just judging from how he's built this forge. Hopefully we'll see the gateway right there. Nope. Oh, never mind, he's overpulled. Okay, I was going to say, drone looks here like it's here a bit early, but he is overpulling, so this makes more sense. Yeah, I feel like tier 2 is maybe a bit big, because the difference between 1650 and 1350 is pretty big. I'm actually going to play in the next CPL for sure. Try to hone my Zerg up a bit. Alright, so our next test here for Wrench is how well can he keep a probe alive? Yeah, Days, from what I know of you, you should easily be tier 1. You should be like high B or low A or something. Oh, snap. Something tabbed. Something tabbed. I don't know what it did to the stream, but something tabbed. Alright, so we're getting a gateway up. Got a Nexus. Okay, so yeah, I did not realize tier 2 went up that high. I thought tier 2 was like basically like D or maybe some like low C guys. And then tier 3 or tier 1 was like mostly C guys and maybe some people that had practiced and made super jumps like Tim. They placed an 1850 player in tier 2. Yeah, that one would be a little bit off. That one would be a little bit strong for tier 2. I would definitely be tier 1 with Protoss. I don't know what tier I would be with Zerg though. It'd be really close. It'd be really close. My ZVP is obviously tier 1, but I don't know about my ZVT and my ZV. I feel like my ZVT is probably like high, very, very high tier 2. And my ZVZ is probably the same, but I don't know for sure. Alright, so we got Cybernetics Core. Got our wall, we're getting +1. So, thinking speed lots right now. Thinking speed lots. Could be +1 Sarah speed lot, could be just +1 speed lots, but +1 being prioritized before everything else. Stargate timing. If it is going to be a Stargate, we can see the Stargate's going to be a little bit delayed, but it's not. It's going to be a Citadel, so we are dedicated. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Okay. Okay. We're gonna do the all-in. We're gonna do the all-in here. Now, did Protoss? I should have paid more attention to his probe. I don't know if he saw it. We'll see what he builds at the front. That'll tell us if he saw it. I think he knows enough that he can you know, add cannons if he has scouted it. So I dislike from Protoss. I will admit I dislike the fact that there's not a probe out on the map. It is so important. Protoss is, if you're playing PvZ, it's so important. I can't even stress enough. You got to get probes out on the map and know what's happening. If you don't, you can get in so much trouble. So how do you do that? It's a good question. Well, the first thing that's happened is when your first probe is getting close to the Zerg's base and you find them, like right about when their lings are hatching, you should send another probe out on the map at about that time. Just let it sit somewhere out there so it can be out and come in from an unexpected direction. That's step one. And then step two is obviously keep your probe alive as long as you can. And then step three is, well, what do I do if I can't get in, or Zerg made speed really fast and I can't scout at all? Then the answer is, well, you can either gamble with no cannons, or your one cannon, you know, or you can blindly make a couple cannons at the front in anticipation of the potential of a Hydra bust. Now, usually when Zergs make really fast... Oh, well, here we go. So this is probably going to be GG here for Wrench, because he obviously hasn't scouted it, as we talked about. So this is going to be just a classic scouting loss if Red Quad has decent micro, and so far it looks pretty good. Now, there are a lot of speed lots. If his speed kicks in really soon here, he might have hit good enough timings that he will be able to get rid of these Hydra, but he really needs to keep these Zealots alive towards speed. I don't think... Oh, Quadrox, well, I can understand why Quad wants to get the cannons. He's not microing hard enough against these Zealots, so he's not abusing how easy it is to kite, and now it looks like speed might have just kicked in for those Zealots, and he's got a few gateways, obviously. Oh, wait, he's only got two. This is going to be tight. Let's see if these cannons can get up. It's going to be very tight. Probes have already fallen here. There's a possibility that Wrench can defend, but a good Zerg here for sure would win. Like this was a high-level game. This would go to Zerg. 2 gateways. With these, if there were 4 gates, I would say, okay, you can probably hold this off, but it's not really doable with just 2 gateways. So let's see. Red Quad is going to commit to the Hydras 100% for sure. He's moving forward. He's trying to get a cannon. Good snipe. And now he should pull back right now. Okay, good. So far, Quadrox is microing this very crisply here. And the situation's looking pretty bad. Just needs to come in, deny those last cannons here. He's got the Zealots coming in really bad arcs. They're taking a ton of damage, getting softened up. And yes, we did see there was an Archives, but there were no Templar made. So it's going to be a long time for Templar to even finish, and an even longer time to have Storm. Okay, don't target Morphin cannons. Target finished cannons first. They do more DPS. Needs to bring the Hydra in from the back, but it's going all right now for Red Quad. The Zealot count is getting whittled down. We are getting close to GG, unless... Oh, there's an Overlord there, so a DT can't do anything. So unless Red Quad just goes crazy AFK right now, it looks like he's done it. There is a DT, but guess what else there is? There's an Overlord, so that DT does nothing. The downside of going Corsairs, all the cannons are shut down. More Hydra are being rallied. Red Quad has either missed a little bit of macro cycles or overdrone just a bit, but enough to get it done. GG is called. So yeah, unfortunately, just a scouting error from Wrench, and that shows it. You know, if you lose your scouting probe, holy shit, it's windy. Wow. If you lose your scouting probe, you gotta have another one on the map, or you gotta either accept losses like that, or accept that you need to build a little bit of extra defense. Like if you build 3 or 4 cannons, if he would have already built 3 or 4, then he probably would have been able to hold on in that situation. Unfortunately, that's not what happened. So yeah. I tried to remake game 1 though. Alright, here we go. Game number 2. Game number 2. But yeah, I can't even stress how important scouting is. Alright, so in the bottom right-hand corner, down 1 game, we have Wrench 420. And in the bottom left-hand corner, as the Red Zerg, we have Quadrox. Alright, so QuaDrox opting to play very aggressively in the first game with that 3-hatch Hydra. Now we'll see if he plays differently this game or if he sticks towards the same idea. And to be perfectly fair, I have no idea. I do not know what QuaDrox's standard / preferred / most comfortable styles of play are. So we're going to be watching this, you're going to be watching this, we're all going to be finding out. Wow, it actually tells me my friends started watching a replay. Oh my gosh. So informative. So absolutely informative. So yeah, the other option I was going to say, if it's speedling, it's a little bit more dangerous. The other option you can do, particularly if the lings are slow and you haven't been able to get out and get any scouting intel, is when you get 3 zealots, pressure with those 3 zealots. Those can give you just enough time to see if it's Hydra that you can probably get some cannons up and get an idea of what Zerg is doing. So yeah, it's just absolutely a must-do. Like, you have to have probes alive in the Zerg space, or else you're going to have to make a lot of blind defenses. Or if you opt to not make blind defenses, you're going to have a lot of just losses where you die to a Hydra bust. Yeah, cooler. Thanks for following, man. I appreciate it. Alright, so the pool is down again. Overpool here again from QuaDrox. That certainly seems to be a preferred build from him. And we got a few more drones popping on out here. No surprises. And again, a little bit early on this drone from QuaDrox. Don't need to send it out until about maybe 200 to 230 minutes, unless of course it's a scout. Although I believe it's more common to scout when you're just going to make your hatchery. Yeah, so we can see this drone's here a bit early, so he's losing probably 10 minerals from this. You know, not the end of the world, but it's not optimum. And I'm a big believer within reason in optimizing your early game. There's really nothing else you have to focus on. It doesn't require any APM, so there's just no reason not to kind of crisp up those timings. We do have a first cannon here from Wrench, playing it safe. Now, I will also comment on this. I don't particularly like what Wrench did here. A few things he could have done better in terms of his scouting. The first is to send the first probe to right here, and then if you see an Overlord at this base, then you know where Zerg is, and if not, then you can immediately head over here. And the other thing that I would like to see him do is double scout. Very good in PvZ. You send one scout out when you build the pylon, and you send the second scout out after the forge, and then one of those 2 scouts will find the base, and you can always know, do I need to make a cannon first? Do I need to make or can I make a Nexus first? And you're never left guessing. Now in this case, it obviously worked out just fine for him, but in many other cases, when Zerg 12 hatches, he's put himself needlessly behind by electing not to double scout and or abuse this third base kind of scout. Ah, that thing is still running. It's not a 24-hour stream. It's a lie. I could have sworn I like deleted these timers, but they're somehow still going. I'm gonna have to sit down and play around with Streamlabs Ob's chatbot. All right, so we got a gateway finished here. Now, are we gonna do +1 again? No. Oh, actually, never mind. He only just started mining gas. I don't know. Maybe we should see a cybernetics core coming up here shortly. By jolly, no cybernetics core yet. Okay, we're gonna really delay the core. We're gonna go 100 gas to no core. Okay, core, cool. Are we going 100 gas here? Yeah, okay, so we're going to do quite potentially the same build. Now, to be honest, if you're going to skip Citadel, or skip Stargate, skip Citadel, I don't think you could play PvZ skipping a Citadel. If you're going to play PvZ skipping a Stargate and go for fast +1, then I would really like to see like 4 gates and do it aggressively. Like, the whole point of skipping Stargate is to have this really fast, very aggressive, in-your-face +1 timing, and that's just a lot stronger off of 4 gates. So go for that variation if you're willing to play without a Stargate, and we can see he is going to go for the same build. That does seem to be his standard. But I would rather see 4-gate aggression, all things considered. And QuaDrox is going to play with Hydra Bust again, and probably Wrench is going to die to Hydra Bust again because he is refusing to scout. Yeah, just can't do that. Cannot do that. He's just okay. Well, this time he is going to scout with 3 zealots, so he has beefed up his scouting just a little bit. Now he should have sent out a probe to try to find this sooner, But this will at least give him a little bit of a window to find this. Now, the unfortunate side to this is the speed is going to finish up, and these Zealots will die, because the Hydra will be able to micro against them very easily. But it will hopefully give Wrench time to get down a few cannons. Now, this timing is tight, and he will want to micro, but now here's the tricky part. Wrench needs to add the cannons right now and try to micro the Zealots at the same time. Okay, he is adding the cannons. He needs to add about 5 or 6, though, if he wants to live this. Alright, so he's coming in here. This is good. Buying a little bit of time. Red QuaD can certainly micro against this. Should just do more kiting micro here since he has the speed advantage. But he's giving off a lot of free shots. Now, Wrench has only added 4 cannons. He needs to... Okay, he is cutting probes. Now we're getting some of the cannons up that he needs. He did get his speed started. Needs a couple more cannons, though, than just this. 5 is still not enough against a well-controlled Zerg Hydra busting. QuaDRx, unfortunately, does not chase down the Zealots and get kills on all of them, but he did soften them up quite a bit. And, of course, now just the Hydra streaming out across the map. Try to pay attention, a little more attention to the macro. It looks like he's got... Could balance his saturation maybe a smidge more? Or are we about right? No, never mind, we got it about right. Okay, so yeah, pretty good. Pretty good from QuaDRx. We're getting all the lings in. It did buy enough time, so you can see how this plays out now. It's not a guarantee. Good micro. Oh, QuaDRx. Okay, never mind. He's just trying to range down the gateway. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. This will also allow a little bit more time for cannons. Does not want to engage with these Zealots. Oh, Wrench, you gotta hold position, those bad boys. Gotta hold... Oh, okay. Oh, QuaDRx, you gotta hold position your Hydras, too. Alright, so going back to attacking that forge, attacking that gateway, more cannons being added. Let's see if he's teching into Templar as this continues. Yes, he is. And he is making some, so I like the way this is being played. I'm starting to think he's adding cannons. He's taking this very seriously. I'm starting to like the way that Wrench is playing this. And QuaDRx, of course, is going super full all-in committed Hydra bust. It's still going to be a bit dicey, though. You really need to keep adding cannons against this. And if QuaDRx uses the lings properly and runs in here, this is still threatening. I mean, he's still making a lot of Hydra. He doesn't have the lings in the front. But again, it's a lot of Hydra coming in here. And there we go, moving back out of range of the Zealots. Most of the Zealots dead. We're down to about a group of Hydra, though. This is going to be tight. Still, Zealots soaking damage, though. And for the moment, he's holding on. And Red QuaDRx, though, has another round of reinforcements. Now he just needs to move in here and snipe cannons. He's gone into Templar. He's lost one gateway. Oh, he actually... Okay, he has a Templar out. And here we go. Let's see. The Hydra are not coming in all particularly together, not target firing the weakened cannons. Should just focus on the cannons over the Zealots. They're more important. They are being softened up, but he has lost the forge. Did he rebuild it? No. Okay, this is... It's a tight window, but actually Storm is going to finish, and he's going to hold. He should hold. He should hold. He should hold. I would have to go back and watch that. I felt like QuaDRx had what he needed to break. I think there was some things he could have done better with his target firing. And the way he initially moved in on those cannons after the Zealots died, but he definitely gave Wrench a bit of a fright. But now with the forge refinishing, all right, so it's gonna be really hard to build cannons out in front like that if that's what he's trying to do. All right, QuaDRx, please, before you move in, please get in a line. Like pull. Okay, so he needed to like pull them down before he did this, but now there's a storm, so that's gonna kill those Hydra. And now QuaDRx is obviously in a really bad position. He's actually just gonna keep going for this. This is way too aggressive. Way too aggressive. And yeah, Wrench has done a pretty good job here. He's added more gateways, he's gotten Storm. He really should have made 2 more Templar rather than just 2. 4 is better to have. But QuaDRx, you gotta have a transition, man. You can't just keep making Hydra. Should really try to transition out of this at this point. And probably a little while ago. But QuaDRx is just gonna blindly stick to Hydra and blindly fail to do anything with his Hydra and eventually get overrun here. As Wrench macros up. Alright, here comes some Zealots running out. Gonna try to clear these Hydra out of the front. A few reinforcements coming in from QuaDRx. Probably shouldn't fight without the Templar, though. This is actually a bit wasteful. He's gonna lose a few Zealots doing this. Not a tremendous number, but a few. Yeah, there we go. Moving back to the bridge. Good spot. See how many Zealots he gave up for that? Yeah, he killed 4 or 5 Hydra, but he lost 3 or 4 Zealots. Like, that's not a particularly great trade. And now Wrench just has to sit back a little longer. Like in this case, you can just sit back, you know, get 4 or 5 Templar, get 2 or 3 groups of Zealots, 2 groups of Zealots, maybe start adding some Dragoons, and then move out and roll over everything QuaDRx has. Or just wait for QuaDRx to apparently decide to attack into the cannons. But again, he doesn't really have any options. He's just way overcommitting to Hydra busting at this point. very one-track mind kind of game. I mean, obviously, if you try your first Hydra bus and it fails, like, you're going to be pretty far behind. But this is just being way overly one-track. It's like, he's like, I must kill him, I must kill him, I must kill him, Hydra, 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 Hydra. But in reality, you gotta do something different. Can't just keep sending in Hydra off 3 hatches against a full 2 base powering Protoss. Okay, hitting some decent storms. Alright, come in here, trying to hopefully get a snipe on these Templar. Should be able to get 1, maybe? It's down to just 1 Hydra. Oh! Some lanes coming in, but they don't have speed. They don't have speed. Not that scary. Okay, we're even adding in a few Dragoons. We're getting range. So yeah, Red's still doing okay. I wouldn't have those Templar out in front like he does. I'd have them behind the Zealots, but outside of that, it's okay. And it looks like he's ready to maybe move out on the map now. And we can see finally QuaDrox maybe trying to add a drone or 2. Oh, these Templar are so snipeable. Oh, Wrench, be careful, my friend. All right, he's gonna get one of them. If he actually snipes these Templar, there's an outside chance he could hold this, and he's gonna get him. He's getting him. Wrench is having a hard time. That's one of the reasons why it can be nice to wait till you have 6 or 10 Dragoons, because they obviously make it a hell of a lot harder for Hydra to just run in there and snipe Templar. And all right, so Wrench's army is not entirely together, but he is macroing pretty damn hard right now. You don't see that very often from a Protoss. And now QuaDrox, well, he's desperately adding Sunkens, but that's just further fucking his eco and putting it further into the toilet. So even if he somehow holds the attack, he's still going to be incredibly far behind. Especially so if Wrench puts down a base while doing this. But even if he doesn't, it doesn't really matter. QuaDrox is trying to get some drones out. But we got units on top of these spores. You see, oh, there's a Hydra back there. Or on top of these spores. On top of these Sunkens, way too many Zealots. Should see GG coming up. Oh my god. Nice storm on those drones. And QuaDrox is going to be making his exit here shortly with Wrench squaring the series up. And we are going to head to a Game 3 between these two Titans. Between these two Tier 2 Titans. And it looks like QuaDrox has chosen Roadkill of all maps. Interesting choice. Alright, so in the top position here at 12 o'clock, as the purple Protoss, we have Wrench 420. And in the bottom position here, as the brown Zerg at 6 o'clock, we have BRU's QuaDrox. So let's see here. Previous game, nobody showed any deviations from the way they were liking to play, sticking very much to their same styles. Of course, that being a Stargateless 2-gate speed lot timing here from Wrench, and a 3-hatch Hydra aggression, 3-hatch Hydra bus style of play from QuaDrox. Now we'll see if they deviate this game or if we get a third rehashing of the same game. In first game number 1, QuaDrox got the better of it. In game number 2, Wrench got the better of it. Wrench made some nice adjustments. Debo the Pit, thank you for following, sir. I appreciate it. And welcome to the stream. Welcome to the jungle, as the song goes. Alright, so we got a pylon. This is a little bit tricky here. So Roadkill is a little bit trickier. It's a hard map to wall. It's a really hard map to wall. I think what he's going to go for is probably a forge here and a gateway. And if this is tight, this actually could be a pretty nice wall. In which case, I'll actually find that really cool if this is what I think it is. Let's see how well he's prepared. Aw, damn. Okay, never mind. I was hoping there's something you could do, like putting a forge here and then like a gateway here, and you could actually make like a legit solid 1-hex wall. But this is going to be a very leaky wall. Or a very awkward wall. Because, I mean, if he puts the gateway here, it's really going to limit his space for cannons. Like, his cannons would have to go in a cluster here, which allows this Hydras to get, like, a concave against the cannons, which is really bad. And, yeah, it looks like this is where the gateway is going to go. So it's just going to be a really awkward position to put cannons. He doesn't have very far back to put them. So if QuaDrox indeed... Oh, actually, never mind. QuaDrox is not opting to go 9 over pool. He's opting to go 9 pool and probably speed. Come on, QuaDrox. You doing it? Oh, makes another drone. Makes another ling. Okay, lings are out. Keep the pro alive! Ah! Get speed. He's taking guys off gas, but he hasn't started his speed. Is this really going to be lair? Is it going to be 1-hatch lair? What are you doing? You got 104 gas! Spend the gas! Spend the gas. No. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay, we did get speed, but it's really, really delayed. Okay, so he's pulling a assload of probes. That's overkill, but this is what happens when you make a shitty wall. This is what happens when you make a shitty wall. Yeah. He's actually going to need a third cannon eventually if QuaDrox plays this right. 2 cannons is not enough. Especially not set up on a map like this. Like, there's a run-by path. It's literally just a perfect run-by path here. And the normal way to play this is to make 12 lings and then go for the run-by. The second speed kicks in. Now, the speed should have been done right about 3:30, but instead we're probably looking at closer to a 4-minute speed. There was a massive delay where QuaDrox sat on his 100 gas. Now, if he just sits here like this for days, but you can see he just doesn't have enough money. Did he just make and cancel an extractor? Or are my eyes playing tricks on me? QuaDrox, you gotta send the rest of your lings up, bro. You gotta send the rest of your lings up if you're gonna go for this. Alright, so we got one zealot out. Oh, he's actually making zealots just before. He made a. I didn't realize he made a gateway before his nexus. I wasn't even thinking about that. So, okay, so this was obviously a mistake by Wrench to not nexus first. Like, you still go forward, you still go nexus. You need to add a second cannon first against Ninepool, but you don't make the gateway before. It might allow him to survive, though. We'll see. Survive is the wrong word. But lings can still come up here and, like, attack this probe, kill it, and then immediately run in. There's only 2 cannons. If there were 3 cannons, they couldn't try those kind of shenanigans, but those shenanigans are an option against this. But it doesn't look like QuaDrox is going to do that. And then we'll just have to see where QuaDrox takes. Is he just going to go pure ling all in? I couldn't fault him if he did. If he just goes 3 hatch and just, like, goes straight ling all in. He hasn't really made any drones. Yeah, it looks like he is just going to go ling all in. So QuaDrox is really bringing the all-in pain here. Alright, so he's going to see these zealots. This is a huge mistake this time from our Protoss hero. Well, never mind. If he just sits right there, it's not. But if he moves out too far, he knows Zerg has speed. He knows Zerg has a decent number of lings. He can't move out. And this is the annoying situation for Protoss. This is an annoying build to play against because they're forced to get a decent amount of defense. And there's a lot of things Zerg can do, and you don't know what it's going to be. And unfortunately, QuaDrox ling all in with any sort of micro is absolutely just going to destroy poor Wrench here. He's only got 2 cannons. You need at least 3 against ling all in, and that's with a good wall. He's got a bad wall. So as long as QuaDrox just gets some run by, gets some surface area on the cannons, those will go down promptly, and then Ling Flood will close this out. Probes are being pulled. Actually, the Zealots have done a lot of damage, but the cannon is down. So now basically QuaDrox can just run the lings in here. As long as he reinforces this, maybe sends in those lings that are not fighting right now. Probes are getting devoured. I mean, we can all see where this game is headed. No chance to get another cannon up here at the natural. And QuaDrox going to be taking it. Going to be punishing the poor wall here from Protoss. Although I won't really like fault Wrench too hard. This map is bitchin' hard to wall. But I would say if you're going to do something like that on this map, basically my thought would be ideally learn a good wall for each position on this map if you want to forge expand. Or if you don't have the time or the ability to do that, just play conservative. Should have been 3, maybe even 4 cannons there. Yeah, it's not as great, but that's what there should have been. Oh, he's actually he's getting up cannons here that QuaDrox is just flat out ignoring. But they're not very drillable cannons. And I mean, QuaDrox is mostly just spamming lings. Should probably rally his hatcheries up. But the natural's gone. We've lost a decent number of the probes. Now 2 cannons here have finished, but apparently not in range of this pylon. And this cannon will die immediately. And even this cannon will die fairly easily. Oh, actually, this is a bit awkward. No, he sees it, though. Say, if the Templar Archive's finished, and the... oh, well, okay, maybe he pulls all his probes like this, but actually there are already a few lings on top of the cannon. So cannon number 1 goes down super fast, and now just one more cannon standing between QuaDrox and victory. He's hesitating a little bit. I don't know if that was... Okay, well, he gets a few lings on top of it. And he eventually gets this round. Needs a glitch, but it's kind of hard to glitch with the cannon in that position. So no more cannons left. He's probably going to start a DT here if he knows what's good for him. If he could have bought a little more time, the DT would have gotten the job done. He is pulling probes. He's hitting a pretty good drill, but there's just way too many lings at this point, obviously. You're not going to stop 3-hatch flood of lings with just probes. And there we go. GG is called. QuaDrox, the aggro man, gets it taken out. gets it taken, or takes out Wrench after this game. Slayer, I guess that all depends on the perspective you're watching from. If you are watching to learn the game, then this is like an informative commentary designed to, like, you know, talk about ways to improve and stuff like that. So it's replay analysis and things like that. But if you're watching purely for like high quality entertainment, then yeah, maybe. But you'd be surprised, in all honesty, you'd be surprised how entertaining a lot of these games are. Like, yes, you get some bad games that are really static, and there's no other way to call them. They are just a bit boring. But you also get some ones that are just really entertaining or really funny or uniquely back and forth.